Sony have announced a state of play happening tomorrow, and that means lots of predictions and lots of stuff going on. It's taking place 10 p.m. GMT. Your time might be different if you're not in the UK, but as is standard with a state of play, that means that we have several predictions that we must do. Let's start by getting out of the way the ones that we know we're probably going to see, like Resident Evil Requiem. It's literally out at the end of the month. They're going to show it. It's been in every other showcase. I'd be surprised if it isn't shown off here, for whatever reason other than the fact that Capcom will just want to show it off again. I'm going to stick with Capcom again for a moment. I have had maybe copium, but I am very convinced that we're going to see Monster Hunter Wilds here. Do I understand why? No. Is it going to be some DLC in my brain? Yes. I think they're going to show us something with Monster Hunter Wilds. They showed off Monster Hunter Stories 3 at the Nintendo Direct. I just have a feeling they're going to show something with Wilds here. I don't have anything to go off aside from copium, but that's about all I have here. After that, I think we're going back on this tried and true marked formula of Final Fantasy VII remarked. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to call it, but I think that's where we're going to find out. I think we're going to find out what it's called tomorrow. And it's going to be re-something. We've had remake, rebirth. God fucking knows what re is going to be next. Because of the length of the showcase, we've got to see some internal stuff from Sony. They've not directly said this, but I've got a feeling. And Saros will be the first one to see. We've seen so much about it from Housemarque. I think, considering it's due out in April this year, it's probably going to be shown off again here, and I doubt they're going to do a larger showcase after this. We're going to stick with just the in-house stuff for the moment. Wolverine still doesn't have a release date. We know it's 2026, and if they're going to keep to that release date, I think now would be a good time to see it, so we can mark our diaries, and hopefully it has enough space between it and GTA 6. And maybe if they do that, we get to see a little bit more gameplay. We got to see like a nice splattering of it last time. I think this time it'd be nice to see maybe a bit more story as opposed to just gameplay. But you know what? I'll take whatever they give me on Wolverine. I'm already going to buy it. There have been lots of rumors around regarding God of War. And they've been talking about working on a God of War game for a long, long time. But not the God of War games we've known for a little bit. A 2.5D one, which is more Metroidvania style. Now, this could be a very good way to bring God of War back, but also a nice segue into the God of War show that they have been casting for quite exponentially at this point. It would be nice to see maybe just acknowledgement here. And I feel like if they've got something bigger to show with a 2.5D game, then mentioning the show as like an end tag could be very well done. Potentially, they'll use the actor of Kratos in the main show to announce the 2.5D game. That could work very nicely. After that, and this is me really huffing my copium to a exceedingly big level, I think we're going to see the infamous remakes / a remaster. I would happily take a remaster, but I think this might be a good chance to get a remake out of them. Now, Infamous was Sucker Punch's series that they worked on in the PS3 era in the launch title for the PS4. Of all the PS3 exclusives that they kind of launched, the only ones that haven't jumped to PS4 is Infamous 1 and 2. I was always surprised they never kind of ported it over to PS4, but they did it for the Uncharted series, they did it for The Last of Us, and A Little Big Planet ended up with getting a release for A Little Big Planet free on PS4. But it's one of the only franchises that didn't make the leap to PS4. And that is always intrigued me because I feel like it deserved it. And I think it would have probably run really well as well. This might be the chance. I think 60 minutes, we're halfway through the cycle of PS5. They're trying their best to port more games over. I think this might be its time. I also think that we might finally see a bit more of 007 First Light. Now, I'm well aware IO Interactive are kind of doing their own thing, but IO Interactive have partnered with PlayStation before for showing off the Hitman games, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do that again here with 007 First Light. What they'll show off, though, I'm not entirely sure. Potentially a little bit more of a story trailer, maybe pre-order bonuses or something. I'm unsure, but this bound to be something there. We also know that Sony Bend Studios and Sony Bluepoint Studios have been working on different IPs. Now, both of them apparently had their live service games cancelled last year. So by the sound of things, the only IPs they were working on were live service games. But we don't know that. They might have been working on multiple projects. They might have had some other stuff going on at that time. So there's still a chance that we'll see them show it off again here. Either they have taken the projects they had that were live service and enhanced them down to be a more single-player focused experience. We haven't seen anything from them for a long time. Or in desperate points, Blue Point made the remake of Demon Souls. Do you see where I'm going with this? If Sony were desperate, they could well have maybe remade Bloodborne and asked Blue Point to do it now their live service game was cancelled. You can claim I'm huffing my copium, and I am. But would you be happy if that happened? I'm sure you would. It's also Sonic's anniversary this year, so while I would have imagined years ago it would have been more likely to have seen a Sonic announcement at a Nintendo Direct, for some reason I feel like Sony might be the angle they're going for. Sega have been trying their best to reveal all of their different games at different showcases, with some being released at Xbox, some at Sony's, and some at Nintendo's. It kind of makes sense that they might show one of their tentpole franchises off here, considering we know that Xbox paid money to have the Atlas games shown off on their showcases, which I think that deal has now run out. So, I mean, there is a chance that for Persona's 30th anniversary, we'll see something effectively from them here. But I still maintain I think there might be a little bit longer in the year before we see any more, particularly considering the showcase we had in January. I don't know. That one is very much I don't believe it. We also know Bungie are working on Marathon. It is coming out in March this year, which means it might be another good point to get it out, show it off, and hope that somebody wants to buy it. Now, for possibly the most copium, most interesting prediction we have, with a length of 60 minutes and a smorgasbord of rumors, I think we could see a potential competitor to the Switch. We know full well that Steam released the Steam Deck. Xbox have the Xbox ROG Ally. I'm just saying, would you be surprised if Sony released something to combat that? Now, we know we have the PlayStation Portal, which is a good idea, and I get the benefit. It makes a lot of sense. But it doesn't quite do the same thing. And what I think they're going to do is they're going to try and enter that handheld space again, because we'll all say this, the Vita was just way, way, way ahead of its time and probably would have done better if it would released some years later. But I think they're going to recapitalize on that environment and release something new for that. Likely, if they're going to do it, they'll release it at the end of this year, and this is them showing it off. If that happens, I fucking said it. Well, I'll be honest, those are my predictions. I think I've got a good grasp of what I think we're going to see there. Maybe a little bit of copium-inspired, little dash of that. But aside from that, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know down below. Type in the comment bar what you think we're going to see. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/the_untitledgamer. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Bye!